Hello everyone, I am Amol Balkawade. I am faculty at IHM Mumbai in the food production department. As part of the Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, we at the college are recreating a few traditional Maharashtrian dishes. The first dish that we are going to make today is a rodge, which is traditionally served with a aloo bengan ka sabzi. Rodge is a dish which is very much similar to the bati which is prepared in the state of Rajasthan. This dish is prepared using wheat flour and then it is cooked over live charcoal. This dish is traditionally served with Vanga and batata, that is aloo bengan ka bhaji. The bhaji is going to be very spicy and there is going to be a lot of oil in that bhaji. Rodge is, as I said, comes from the region of Vidarbha, which is towards the north of Maharashtra. So there is a lot of influence from the northern states of Maharashtra in the cuisine of that part. Rodge is served along with the bhaji and along with ghee.
These are the ingredients for the rodge. We have whole wheat flour, semolina, salt and oil. These are the ingredients for the aloo vanga bhaji. We have various spices and brinjal and potatoes. Now to make the rodge, we'll take in the whole wheat flour in a bowl or a plate or a tray. To the whole wheat flour, we'll be adding semolina or suji rava. The combination of suji and rava is traditionally used for making the rodge. If you are using some whole wheat flour which has been coarsely ground, the suji can be omitted. For seasoning, we have added salt. We'll be adding little bit of oil to the mixture and we'll be kneading the dough using water. Now here it is absolutely essential that the kneading of the dough be done properly. If the dough is not kneaded well, your rodges will not turn out to be good. So here we are combining the oil and the salt along with the dry ingredients and we are adding or incorporating the water little by little into the dough. The kneading process over here is of essence. It has to be done properly. Once all the flour has absorbed the water, we will actually start the kneading. The first step involves the bringing of the dough together and the second step involves kneading, what you are seeing on the screen right now. Once the dough forms a ball, our kneading process is done. Once the dough has been kneaded well, it forms a ball, then we will cover the dough either with a damp duster or with a lid, or as we have shown over here, with a cling wrap, and will allow the dough to rest for minimum 15 to 20 minutes. We are resting the dough because when we knead the dough, the gluten in the wheat is being worked on. If we immediately use the dough to make the rodge or any roti for that matter, the product will come out to be slightly chewy. That's why the resting period is very important. After the dough has been rested for 15 minutes, we will take the dough out on a work table and roll it out into a cylindrical shape. For the recipe that has been shared with you, we will be making 5 rodges. So here we have divided the dough into 5 portions. Each of the portions then will be rounded up and each rounded portion will be converted into a cylindrical portion. Now from each cylinder we will be taking out 3 uneven pieces of dough, one slightly smaller, one medium size and one large size. Why we are doing this is because from these individual pieces of dough we will be getting 3 thick puris and we are going to place the puris one inside the other so that you get a layered rodge. Traditionally rodge is prepared using this method. But if you are in a hurry, you can just take one single ball of dough, roll it out into a chapati and then you will fold it out like a bati. Here we are showing or following the traditional method wherein we have divided the dough into 3 portions. Each portion of the dough will be flattened out. You can use a rolling pin or you can use your fingertips to flatten out the piece of dough. Each piece of dough is first rolled in flour so that the dough does not stick to the hands as well as the work table. Flatten it out to approximately 3 to 4 millimeter thickness slices or discs. The first one is done, the second one is done. Now we will proceed to the third piece. We'll follow the same procedure for the third piece as well, which is the smallest of the lot. Once all the pieces of dough have been flattened out, then we will cover the dough, or we'll spread some oil in between the dough. Now why are we doing this is so that the pieces of these dough do not stick to one another after they have cooked. So this provides a lamination effect like in a puff pastry. So we are keeping the pieces of dough one on top of the other. Also we'll be sprinkling little bit of seasoned flour, wheat flour on top. Either you can use a sieve for doing this, or you can just sprinkle the flour using a spoon or even your hands. So the flour will be sprinkled on the dough, and then we will place the pieces of the dough one on top the other. You can do it this way or by using the sieve as we have shown you in the first part of the video. Now we will start off from the smallest piece of the dough and make a modak or a ball out of it. The smallest piece of the dough will go inside the second piece, the medium piece, and will wrap around this piece around the first ball. And then this will be placed on the largest puri and will wrap it around the middle piece. We will convert this into a ball by sealing the edges. We will bring all the edges of the dough together as you are seeing in the video right now, and then you will seal the edges. Once the edges are sealed, then you will roll out this mixture or this dough into a ball. Make sure while doing this that the edges do not open up. Then you will flatten it out slightly so that the dough cooks properly or the rodge cooks properly. I am using my thumb to flatten out the rodge. And as I said initially, make sure that the seals are properly done. So these are the ready rodge. The rodges will be cooked on live charcoal. We will transfer these rodges on the charcoal. So the charcoal is already burnt over here, and we will be placing the rodges on them. Traditionally, how this dish is cooked is they burn the charcoal, and while the charcoal is cooling down, they place the rodges inside the charcoal and they completely cover the rodges with the burning piece of charcoal, burning charcoal. And the cooking process takes anywhere between 1 to 1.5 hours. It's a very, very slow cooking method. Now for making the Aloo Vangi chi Bhaji, we have taken a vessel. In the vessel, we will be adding in the oil. As I said initially, this preparation requires a lot of oil. This preparation will have oil floating on top, which is more commonly known as tarri in Marathi. The dough, the rodge is basically dough. The dough will absorb the oil and hence it will get the flavor. So we are waiting for the oil to heat up. Once the oil heats up, we will be adding in the spices. We will be starting off with mustard, then cumin. Yes, so we are adding the mustard now. Once the mustard seeds begin to crackle, we will add in the cumin seeds, followed by the fenugreek seeds. Now in Indian cooking, the cooking of the spices matters a lot. You have to give each and every spice the time that it requires to cook. You cannot be in a haste or hurry, right? So after mustard, I added in the cumin, followed by the methi or the fenugreek seeds. So these spices have to be cooked properly, making sure that they do not burn, followed by curry leaves, some finely chopped onions, and along with that, we will be adding in some green chilies as well. Once the onions have turned translucent, we will be adding in the ginger garlic paste. You can use a ready-made ginger garlic paste, or you can also prepare fresh ginger garlic paste. You can also use finely chopped ginger and garlic in this particular preparation, because this is a rustic way of preparing this dish. Okay, you can even add finely chopped ginger and garlic. Now we are going to cook the onions until they turn brown in color. Once they turn brown in color, then we will be adding in the powdered masalas. So first goes in the red chili powder, I told you initially that its gravy is going to be very spicy, so we've added extra red chili powder, followed by coriander powder, turmeric powder. Now these masalas are going to be cooked properly without burning them. This preparation is going to be bright red in color. The color is going to come from the red chili as well as these tomatoes, which we are adding to the gravy now. We are going to cook the tomatoes completely until they mash up. You cannot hasten this project or this process. Once the tomatoes have cooked, then we will be adding in the kala masala. The kala masala traditionally is a combination of roasted poppy seeds, roasted sesame seeds, red chilies and various other whole spices. Now I have added some dry coconut powder and these are crushed roasted peanuts. We are going to combine everything together and then we will be adding in the main ingredients of the dish, which is brinjal and potatoes. Brinjal is called as Vanga in Marathi, and because I told you initially that this dish is close or comes from the region which is closer to the northern part or central part of India, the aloo, the potato, is called as aloo, whereas in all the other parts of Maharashtra, potato is known as batata. So this comes from the northern part of Maharashtra. So that's why the potato is called as aloo. The brinjals, only the stalks have been trimmed and we have slit the brinjals in half. That's it. If you have smaller brinjals, you can add the whole brinjals to the preparation. There's no need even to cut them in half. Just the stalk needs to be trimmed. We'll sear the mixture properly. We'll combine the masala with the vegetables and then we'll be adding in some hot water. This hot water makes sure that the oil that was added onto the masala begins to float on top, and this is what gives the tarri of the dish. Okay, we are adding some jaggery to the dish for flavor, followed by some finely chopped green coriander. And we'll cover the vessel and allow it to cook for anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. Salt is added for seasoning. We combine the mixture together and then we'll cover the vessel and allow it to cook for further 15 to 20 minutes or until the vegetables have completely cooked. So combine them well. See, the oil has already started floating to the top. The flavors of the masala and the gravy will be infused into the vegetables. Cover the vessel completely. And after 15 minutes, you can notice that the brinjals have changed their color and they have completely softened up. The vegetables are cooked thoroughly and you can see the layer of oil on top. This is the tarri, and this is how you serve the rodge along with aloo vanga Bhaji.